welcome back to the Cross and Minds podcast, guys. My name is V. Obviously, the only one who matters because Big Rob is not here, but we do have a special guest today. We're going to save him for last alongside.
Peace, man. I got him. You know what's going on for real. Back in the building. Sorrow, but also triumph. You feel me? Word up, man. That's where I'm at right now, man.
All right, our special guest alongside.
Shane, universally handsome, globally sexy.
Oh, we started with the jokes already.
Like, he was waiting for that one on the low, though.
That shit is so crazy. Like, what makes you say that?
Cause when I go to Walmart, you'll be surprised the sexual harassment that I receive. It's universal. That's what I realized, that I'm attracted to at least somebody in the women's species.
He said
From
Walmart.
all nationalities. I go to Walmart, I get hit on by 70-year-old Chinese women, 23-year-old white women. I'm saying black women that I might want to hit on me, but it's no pics. I go in a grocery store. It's not just these places, because these are the places I have to go public because of my responsibilities. But when I go outside, there is a group of men out here that, and always be the coldest and boldest that do the most, like the bigger and the wiggers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not here to use on
Who are you talking about?
Nah, I'm not picking anybody. I'm not going to get a group of people to be against me. I got enough of those. Listen, there is always the ones that know fucking better. Pardon my language. They know better. You know damn well that nowhere in your life with me and you be matched up. And the fact that you're, like, I was just on, the other day I was in Burlington Coat Factory looking for replacement bottle nipples because the cat keeps eating the damn nipples off the damn baby bottle, right?
Replacement nipple.
So
we went from Universal Sexy at Walmart. Now we at Burlington with it.
I'm giving you the event of
Okay,
the
go ahead.
outrageousness of me going outside. So this aisle is this big.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying not to go in the aisle. I'm trying to find the stuff. And immediately just somebody clips the hell out of the back of my freaking sneaker with the cart. And
Why?
so I gotta get to it. So as I look, I'm like, yo, they just keep on smoking. I'm like, yo, the word is excuse me. Don't you know this person had nerve to turn around and say hi? I said, let me explain something to you, right?
Did you say hi back?
Absolutely fuck not. Her shirt was a 4X.
Oh.
First of all, let's get to that.
They need love too.
Like, not for mine. Not for mine.
Not for mine.
And I didn't come here looking for that. I'm here for baby nipples. Like the baby bottom
Well, you
nipples.
was going to get bazooka nipples. What's wrong with that?
This is what I'm saying though. Like, how dare
Bazooka
you? And why would you
nipples.
even think that was the approach? That you was gonna clip my
That's
heel.
a bad
I mean, but
ankle.
sometimes people don't know how to go up to
She
you.
clipped on my, like, you ever had a cart, the front of that shit, the water holder clipped the back of your heel? That's not, it immediately pisses you off. I don't care who did it, kid, anybody. Like,
Yeah, I get
you gotta
it.
turn
I
around
get
and
it.
adjust to who did it
All
before you
right.
react. I wasn't
Okay.
cool with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you thought that was your way, and then you keep walking.
All right, so let's assume
Like-
that she wasn't in a 4X t-shirt.
I mean,
Would
like-
if she was smaller?
I don't go outside hunting. First of all, let's get to this fact. I go where I'm going
No,
for my
but
purpose.
you clearly weren't hunting. She was hunting for you.
And that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? This is why I said universally handsome, globally sexy.
All right, what are you having
You know what I'm
for?
saying? Just can't contain yourself.
If y'all ever see Sean, what is
Shane,
it?
don't do
Shane,
that. Don't do
sorry,
that.
sorry. If y'all ever see Sean at
She did twice.
Shane, sorry.
You petty as
Yeah,
hell.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not.
The
I'm
hate
not.
is so real.
Y'all two are funny as hell.
No. It's not me being petty. It's before during pre-production.
These niggas is
Like,
arguing for hours.
It's like, you know when somebody says
I
something
wasn't
to
arguing
you,
about nothing.
it was really like nothing, but it's just like when you be like, wait, that's not what you said the first time, but then you meant this, but then you said that, but then you try to tell me what I said, but then I'm trying to tell you what you said. So it was a lot of
See
that
how the
going
hand
on.
movements went so fluently with that? You could tell what one person was doing, right? And then you got one person. You know when your truth is so bright and the music is so harmonious.
But you see how when somebody's
like-
truth gotta be so, I'm telling the truth, that's how you know a motherfucker
There's a reason why
lying.
classical
like,
music
it's
was made
just,
first,
it just
man.
doesn't make sense to me.
Heavy metal had its time. It was short one.
All right, but we're going to get right into it, right? So today we're going to do things a little different. We're going to go based off of questions, and then we're going to go around the room to see how that works out for you, what you think of it. So the first one that I'm starting off with today is, can love survive if your sex drives do not match? Yes or no?
Question for me.
In general, whoever is ready to answer. I'll allow you to go first. Guess first.
I believe it can. I believe, depending on the gender and depending on who you're dealing with, everybody doesn't prioritize sex. Like,
Nah, but you basically asking if the relationship could sustain itself.
Yeah.
I think they do. You have plenty of marriages that sex has been died. My grandparents slept in the separate rooms since I've been born. That shit's crazy to me, but whatever.
But
So,
Shit, that's that. Yeah.
I mean, for
They
you,
died
how about
married.
All right. What about
can love survive? That's the question.
love survive?
Can love survive?
I feel like love could survive one of these nukes and
love
shit.
is
You
not
feel me?
always
Like real
good.
shit.
Love is not always a
Where
good
this
feeling.
bond?
We're
Bro.
talking about good love now, though. We're not talking about toxic love or somebody
Good
did
love would
this or
have matching
some.
sex drives, would it not? Because you would just naturally want to fuck on your partner.
Not
Right, yeah,
necessarily.
I love you so much. Let me hump you. Like that's how it usually goes.
I mean,
Like,
but there's real life
So-
situations that go on too that stop you from like hunching
Nah,
on your
hey, yo,
partner sometimes
nah,
when you
hold-
want to.
and those situations don't fall under the good love portion either.
Yes,
though.
it does. What if you're a parent or you work a full-time job or conflicting schedules? That doesn't mean the love
Somebody's
isn't
experiencing
there.
bad love in this motherfucker. It's usually the motherfucker that ain't living doing the extra love, the job or whatever. Whoever's on the
Yeah.
shit after that, whoever ain't
That
doing the
is-
extra shit, whoever's sitting at home,
so-
Go ahead.
that's bad love for them.
To answer the question, I think love can survive. You feel me? Real shit.
Okay.
Because you know what I'm saying. Like once you got love for somebody, you feel me? Like I mean, unless they really did something to make it turn it into hate. But
Right.
even hate is just a displaced form of love. Like, but you feel me? That love typically gonna be there, right? Now, not fucking. That's gonna break down the like. You feel me? Like now,
Right.
like you feel me? Because how? Like, am I gonna like you?
Well said. You
know
know what
what I'm
happens
saying?
though? But not fucking.
I don't.
Or like is me liking you gonna last? You feel me? Because if I like you,
that.
I'm on you. You feel me all the time. So if the light go down, then
We transferring fucking. That's what's going to happen.
yeah.
Right, transfer.
I could understand that. I could understand that. I think that
So fuck is gonna be done.
Yeah, it's going to be
once
some
you
fucking.
reach that dislike, once you reach that dislike, the love starts to dwindle too. Because think about it, yes, you have to like for
What the
this
fuck is love?
Yeah, so that was my question.
love.
Oh man.
Love is a euphoric feeling
Yeah.
where you put that person before yourself, or you always think about that person's needs, or you actually like cater to them. And there's things that you want. If you won't do it to yourself, you won't do it to them.
Google, hold on.
Please.
That's for real. All right, so look up the Google definition of love. But love should be very selfless. Love should be transparent. There's a lot of things there's different ways, I guess, that you can love.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Does it say euphoric feeling in there?
Hold on. No, relax.
You looking for some type of validation?
Well, yeah, it kind of does. So
Exactly.
It says
Look at
an
you.
intense feeling of deep affection,
Okay.
and then the second was a great interest or pleasure in something.
Go into.
Damn. So do we got love
That's
fucked
dangerous.
up?
That's
Because that
borderline
sounds
obsession.
like to me.
That sounds like obsession to me. That's what the fuck it
An
sounds like to
intense
me.
feeling of deep affection.
It sounds like obsession.
Look up the word affection then, because affection isn't obsession.
A deep, when you put deep bound into that motherfucker.
Don't start adding
Yeah,
words
when you
to it
put
to
that-
make
they
Nah,
put
it
that in
says
there.
an intense feeling of
Yeah,
deep
intense.
affection.
That means like times 10 on whatever the fuck affection
Affectionate is readily feeling or showing fondness or tenderness.
Now put the intense on that
Showing
motherfucker.
fondness or yo, so hold up. So time out.
This is obsession.
So basically,
have
love
I
is
been
soft.
defining this shit wrong this whole time? Because I felt like love was something that's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm putting on a care side, you know what I mean? Like if I cared enough
Mm-hmm.
for you, you feel me? Like, that's the love. Like
That's where the tenderness
You feel
comes
me?
in. The
Love is the
tenderness, the
motivation.
fondness. Like you're just supposed to, it's just about the feel of it.
all right, yeah,
That's
but
how I
that
think
wasn't
of
in the
it.
definition. But yeah, I agree with that though. I do.
Okay. And what
agree
do you
with
think
that.
love is?
Love is the motivation.
the motivation of what?
It's what motivates you to interact how you interact with whoever you're in love with. It will be why you endure shit that you don't like. It will be, and the level of that is going to determine what type of love is compatible here. Like what type of motivation you're gonna have to do certain shit. Like if you're truly in love, there ain't no favors. You'll clear out your bank account for the person you really, really
Yeah,
love.
you just do.
And then you got the person you love that's always that you're on your way out of love. And that's
Mm-hmm.
just so the motivation starts turning to aggravation. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
motivation turned into aggravation.
Word up. Consideration. Consideration starts to turn to like
Resentment. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Once I start, like, if the love is gone, I just feel there's a sense
Frustration.
of resentment that you start to grow. Now, my next question to follow up with that is, do you think that you can get rid of resentment? once you start to resent the person that you once were in love with?
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say? Yeah,
Why?
after you figured out that you had it all wrong.
Now you got it all
You feel
right.
me?
Come back, baby.
Like, yeah, like, you feel me? You realize that you was on some bullshit. You feel me? Another nigga, you feel me? Get rid of that. You feel me? Thoughts and get it over with. You know
How
what I'm
about you?
saying?
Do you feel like you
Yeah,
can?
to a certain context with somebody, like, you gotta. The only way this is gonna happen, first of all, you can't keep trying to attach your understanding to my understanding, because that's where my resentment comes from, the misunderstanding. And you trying to piggyback on my back, because you trying to wait till I identify when I don't like something. Now we got to equalize accountability. That's gonna drive this apart, because somebody feels not considered for it. That's
So-
where the resentment starts. When
Okay.
you start feeling like you're caring for somebody, but they're not caring for you the way you're caring for them, and you keep trying to identify. So now you start to be like, look at the motherfucker, like, you know what? Nah,
Yeah.
So you think
Hey,
there's a
yo,
reversal to resentment?
And yeah, but that's what I
Okay.
said. Like, once you realize that the way that you felt isn't reality, you know what I'm saying? Like, that could start dwindling down, because, like, remember what we was talking about earlier, you feel me? Like, with the therapy shit, right? Mm-hmm. So, perception is everything, you know what I'm saying? So, with therapy, I guess it does give you it gives you different perspective on your feelings in a
Constructive
what's
way.
the word? Yeah, but an objective way. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Word up. So my thing is, if you don't have the ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you're gonna have a lot of resentment and anger in your life. You feel me? Real shit. Because you got to be able to, especially in a relationship, you got to be able to like put yourself in that other person's shoes.
So
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
by saying that, then you have to have some level of empathy in order to do that. Because the only way you can actually put yourself into somebody else's shoes is
Nah.
by being empathetic.
Nah, cause look, right? I don't have to be empathetic to just say this random nigga. You feel me? This random angry nigga I just ran into today, right? I don't have to. I could put myself in his shoes. You feel me? To bring some understanding to the situation. But that's for me to just be tactical. You feel me? Or it's not. It's not a empathetic move. You know what I'm saying? But if I gotta read this situation correctly, you know what I'm saying? Like, gaining knowledge and understanding could, you know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, I would disagree just a tad bit, because I can't put myself in your shoes without, like,
You
even
can
if I
do it
could, I could be
empathetically.
understanding, but like, I can't really feel what you're going through, nor do I really care. It's more of like a sympathetic thing where it's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, I
okay,
was
well,
gonna
damn, that
say
sucks for you. I hope it never happens to me.
Well, being in a relationship though, you do have to. I feel like it does come with more empathy, putting yourself in that person's shoes, because after a while you'll get so entangled. You know what I'm saying? You gotta consciously do it. You feel me? Because you'll do it for a stranger. You feel me? Or somebody else. You'll put yourself gladly in the other person's shoes and be an understanding person. You feel me? But
Right.
you know, with somebody that you used to arguing with or bumping heads with and shit, you know what I'm
You
saying?
just so tired of this motherfucker. You don't even want to
nigga,
understand.
My natural reaction is I don't want to understand.
Yeah,
you, nigga.
right.
You feel me? For real, I just really want to be mad.
yeah, you get a
You know what I'm saying?
predisposed. It's like this
That's-
motherfucker.
Yeah, like, this
Why
motherfucker.
why you wait to come to the kitchen when I'm here though? Like, you wasn't down the whole time. All of a sudden, you just want juice. All of my shit.
That is funny. That's why I don't believe, and I'll be the bad person and say it. That's why I don't believe that you can actually reverse resentment. Because once you really sit down with those feelings and you allow those feelings to actually simmer and you start to think, and there isn't any resolutions or solutions to how things are going to go, I don't think you can go back once you have reached the point of resentment.
I think you can. The only way you can though is removal is a must. Once resentment sets in, separation is required, because anything other than that is a compounding resentment.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
You
There's
cannot
no way
heal
for you
when
to
you're
remove
being
that.
hurt at. That doesn't make any sense.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't separate. Sometimes you're so in love with someone or you love someone so much that the things that they've done or the things that they do, you can't overlook. And it makes you grow this resentment where it's like, all right, well, I know that you can do better, but you're not doing better. Or I know that you don't have the capability to understand what you're doing to cause all of this.
Yeah.
And like, you just start to begin to resent that person to where like you hate that person to then where you don't feel anything.
I mean, I guess, but
I
you
don't
know,
get that deep into love.
Oh,
As soon as that shit start getting a little shaky, I go to my other lifestyle.
Oh my fucking God. Like what?
I go
I
back
don't know.
to the
I
basics.
I don't know. I just think
started.
that's some bullshit.
What?
Like, what did you say again? I'm sorry.
So
I got
resentment, you
distracted.
can't remove resentment because once you're in love with this person, like you can see the potential that they have, what they don't do, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
And then once that resentment kicks in, then you start to hate this person because love and hate is basically the same thing. It takes that same amount of energy. Once you move past that, then you feel nothing. I think it's worse to feel nothing for someone than to hate someone or be resentful towards them.
Nah, hell no. No.
What?
No, because you know how intense. Look at the word hate. You know what that word entails? Hate means that on a daily basis, you live with the same way you love somebody. Think about that. You love somebody, you think about them every day.
And if you hate someone, it takes just as much as energy to
Fuck
love
the energy,
them.
It's the same act on contrast. So as intense as you love somebody, all that shit that you put up with, all that dedication, motivation that you put to somebody, that shit gets put to a different purpose. You need to understand what true hate entails. It takes up your mental. And the only way you deal with true hate is you have to indulge in it. 'Cause it will,
You're literally agreeing with me.
No,
it
I'm
takes
not.
the same. Yes,
No,
because it takes the
know
same amount of energy.
But what I'm telling you is, because you're saying that what your statement was, you believe is better, and I'm not arguing your opinion. I'm just giving mine, where you believe it's worse for somebody to feel nothing with somebody than hate somebody. No, not at all. Because if you hate somebody, your mission, instead of going to better them, protect them, nurture them, you have the exact opposite mission to that now. So no, it's not better to hate somebody, transfer that. It is better to just let what isn't working right now simmer down. And if it is really worth something, it will come back. Because what ends up happening, especially as adults, if you don't allow the resentment to go far enough where that it leaves unhealable wounds, where coming back would compromise my image, my reputation, or my morals. So if any acts weren't done that violate any of these three, which is harder now because the internet exists, so everything's a little bit more public. Relationships are being watched by way more people that have nothing to do by them. But they judge the standard of what the relationship stands because outsiders can fracture your relationship in all types of ways, more than just attention or just interaction.
Right, but you saying all of that.
Just by their opinion or comments on what they think your boyfriend is doing for you or what he's doing to you or vice versa is enough to plant seeds of doubt in somebody's mental and who's already proven worthy to somebody. We're too in tune with the public. Outside of that, no.
It's better to, the reason why I say it is sometimes it's worse. Well, not even sometimes. It's worse to feel nothing for someone because, they don't exist to you. You don't waste that energy. They can literally drop.
Person.
If you if you can literally drop dead tomorrow and this person won't shed a tear. All those emotions, all those feelings that you shared for this person,
erased.
Yeah, right? That's
but
nothing.
That comes from behavior that justifies such treatment. You don't get to put that on the individual that's exercising that because they choose not to deal with somebody because the effect of their interaction is so detrimental that I just don't even want to act like I know you.
Hey, yo, and the fact that that. All right, this is why I said I believe that resentment could be wiped away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you are a reasonable motherfucker, right, or you're willing to admit certain things, or I might have been wilding, or I might have, feel me? If you're willing to admit that, right, and all right, I'm gonna finally sit in this seat. See what you saying. You feel me? Now that I'm off my bullshit, you feel me? And I want to hear what you're saying. Let me hear it. You feel me? That resentment could be wiped away if you understood you had a misunderstanding. You feel me? And that whole shit could get wiped. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So my question is though, why the fuck, right? If it's true resentment, you know what I'm saying? Something that go past a perception issue, right? Why the fuck do people stay with people and resent them? Cause hold on, I think that's some bullshit. You feel me? That's some weak bullshit.
I mean, it is.
Because sometimes the love is constituted past the person you're in love with. Sometimes the consequences of removal are bigger than the person that you have a problem with. And those would tamper with your morality or your image or your reputation.
I could agree with
That's
that
a great
answer.
answer.
Or complacency too.
That ass. Complacency.
Complacency is one of the
and
biggest.
call
Yeah.
to do call
Honor
of duty.
requires
You know what I'm
sacrifice. So if you want to live an honorable life, you will sacrifice something. Sometimes it's
I
your
ain't
happiness,
sacrificing my happiness.
sometimes it's your love, sometimes it's your dreams. But if you want to have an honorable death, you will sacrifice someone.
I'm not sacrificing. One thing I'm not going to sacrifice is a happiness or my happiness
Well, everybody
just
has
to
their
be.
choices. on how
Yeah,
they're gonna get
just
from
to
the
be
12
with
to
somebody.
12. But there's plenty of people out here miserable that are in relationships, that are in love due to.
But how unhealthy is that?
It's super unhealthy. But how much unhealthy shit do we do on a daily basis?
But
We're not about to
you
pick
can
and choose
control
on
that.
unhealthy.
No, we do
you
pick and
can't.
choose. Yes, you
Sometimes
do.
The controlling aspect, we all have decisions to make. But once again, like I said, in our pre-shoot spattle, that you know what I'm saying, not real shit. That sometimes consequences they project further than the two people involved. That we learned this as kids growing up. That what you do affects more than just you.
Then guess what? You should have thought about that before you did it.
But you don't get to also, certain instances don't allow you to take the responsibility of that personal emotion. That's ego speaking.
That's not ego.
That's ego.
That's not ego. That's being
ego.
logical with how you need to operate.
not-
Because if you thought about it before you got into that situation or while you're in that situation, those actions wouldn't have played out how
Woulda,
they
coulda,
did.
shouldas don't come into play when you have a present problem.
That's because you're not thinking ahead of time. You should think before you do. People do and then think. You can't do and expect things to go a certain way. So if you thought about your actions, then you would think about the consequences later. It's just like when people do things right and they go to jail and they have kids. It's like, did you think about all of this shit that you did before you went to jail? No. Did you think about the people that were around you then? You can't have selective thinking.
So talking about real shit. Let me answer that real fast, though.
Me too. I got one. I'll piggyback.
So my thing is like, did you think about that before you did this action? That, hey yo, it's a lot of shit, right? Like that a man, you feel me? Because I'm a man, I can only speak from my perspective. You feel me? There's a lot of shit that a man will do, right? It's called sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you feel me, that sacrifice come with a risk. You feel me? Because like, yo, the pressure that could get put on, it's like everybody deal with pressure different. You feel me? Some pressure bust pipes, some, you feel me, create diamonds, right? So my thing is, all right, yeah, if this is, and cause look, I kind of hate where I'm going, but this is,
cause I see where you're going.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I see, but
you
go
know
ahead. I'm allowing you to finish.
Sometimes, right, when you're going on that path and you like, yo, all right, like I gotta figure something out. You feel me? All right, this is not working. This not working. This not working. I put a real effort. You feel me? This not working. Yo, I might have to do this. You feel me? So yeah, I thought about it, but
exactly. But you still, there you go. Essentially, you still thought about it. Everything is about choices. I'm not saying that anybody's perfect. I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying that nobody has a clean slate. I'll give you a chance to speak, Cancer. Everybody has choices in how they do things, and no one is perfect. But at the end of the day, you still thought about it, and you said to yourself, all right, this could happen or this is going to happen, but I'm still going to do it.
Yeah. All right, can I speak on the fact that what we're talking about here, resentment. So usually the person that's resenting is the person that something was done to them. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about the perpetrator here, the person that's talking about the action, or how the accountability doesn't fall to the person that's resenting something. I resent you because you did something to me that I didn't deserve. So, and that's where the resentment comes from. So with all this talking about what you coulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda, I cannot predict somebody doing something wrong to me.
You can't predict someone doing something wrong
where I'm
to
at
you,
a safe place.
But you can but you can see the signs that most people tend to ignore.
Are you asking somebody to consistently dissect the person they're in love with on a daily basis?
You're not dissecting that person, but you're observing. You're observing. If you're going to be with someone, you observe them and you know how they are. You can't say that, I didn't know,
or
people's true colors come out once all the fairy tale and all the dust comes down.
Yeah, but
you start to
some
see
people
who
don't
they
have
are.
a bad point in their relationship 2 years later. Sometimes that honeymoon lasts for a long time.
And that could be true.
So
but
at what
during
point
that honeymoon,
why am I taking accountability? Because up until this point, I played my part in a relationship and we've never had a bad point. And then I'm not even gonna sit here and put a blame on anybody where the bad point comes from. But now that negativity has reached our relationship, the way you handle it and the way I handle it, the way you handle it is damaging me, and the way I handle it is not damaging you. How am I held accountable for that?
You're not being held accountable.
You were telling me you started us off with what I could have said.
You're not being held accountable for what they did to you. You're being held accountable for the things that you ignored.
How could I possibly know what you're gonna do if we never had a bad point? We never had an argument. We have nothing.
You don't necessarily have to have bad points in order to know someone. Like, you can be around someone and not have any disagreements, but you know their mannerisms, you know their personalities, you know how they are. We can't act so blind and obscure to things that people do naturally.
So how much game have you fell for in your life before you knew how to see game? And whose fault was that, though? This is real shit.
How much game have I fallen for? That is a good motherfucking question.
That's real shit, though. How much game have you fell for?
How much
you
game did y'all fall off
dealing with
me?
a fucking jokester? Like, you know what I'm saying? How many times have a motherfucker been really good at their fucking job until you realize the motherfucker's working? Like, this is real shit.
I mean, but people you can fall for game a few times, but if you keep falling for game, bro, enough's enough. You gotta put your big girl panties on and start dogging
Tyler Perry
them.
made a living off of motherfuckers tricking bitches out of shit. LL Cool J's the fucking man. You can't, come on, bro. Let's be for real. You got some motherfuckers.
But look
out
at the
here
type of women that they're tricking. Look at the type of women that they. Come on, bro.
Gabrielle Union, the fuck? Deliver Us from Eva. You ever seen that fucking movie? That's real shit. Broke that bitch down to the grist down.
I see Temptation.
Where that to the grist? She thought she was all shit till you turned into shit. Hey, yo, that shit was crazy. The bald head nigga came through and ran that shit, didn't he? They flew that nigga in. They flew that nigga in.
Stay with a bald head.
They flew that nigga in. Nigga.
Essentially, look, the part that you have to be accountable for is to think that nobody can do you wrong, even the person closest to you. The accountability is not.
What's the point of entertaining love?
Not realizing that you can't put your.
But that's like that's some backhand shit though, because it's
it's not.
That's like saying like, I'm sorry that you fucked up. You feel me? Like, that's some backhand shit though. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you can't really get that off. Like,
what can I get off?
Like, I don't know, V.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because listen, I know that I hurt you, but that wasn't my intention to hurt you.
What about the further accountability though, sis? Like,
what's the further accountability? What is that?
How dare you?
Hey, yo, nah.
Audacity.
What is the further accountability?
The further accountability is like, all right, no, not just, you feel me, those outside elements that you can't control. What about the shit that you can control? You dig what I'm saying? What about, hold on. What about the all right, how you react to problem solving? You feel me? Or how you react to the truth?
No, you know what? You're asking good questions.
You feel me? Like, because that ass, like, because my thing is like, nah. If I just say, sorry, you a piece of shit, you feel me? Like, I'm sorry that you ain't shit, you feel me? Like that's not
bitch.
Fucking accountability.
No, it's not accountability.
Like, real shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the shit that you could control, you know what I'm saying, is even putting yourself in that perspective to even see. And this is why I said, bro, like, what the fuck can you do? Because when you just alone and it's you and that other person, you feel me? Like, they could be fucking tyrannical as they want. Like, you feel me? Yeah. And it's like, how the fuck could I even make you understand these concepts? You feel me? Like
what would make OJ speed away in that Bronco? Let's be for real.
Because he done fucking killed the white woman.
Why would he kill the white bitch in the 90s?
Because he thought he was going. Because he said he wasn't black, he was OJ. That's why he got away with it.
Go ahead, answer my question. Because you feel me?
When there's two people who clearly don't have a proper understanding of one another, right? And someone is too emotionally distraught or distressed to see the other point of view, that's when I feel like a third party should come into play. And the reason why I feel like therapy is so important is because the therapist, like you mentioned, is very objective and they give you the tools. They don't heal anybody. You don't go to therapy to get healed. You go to therapy to work on yourself and you heal yourself. So if two people cannot see eye to eye, a third party needs to come in and mediate the situation. Now, if this person goes to therapy and they weaponize therapy against you, then that's different. That's fucked up. Now you're fucked. You're in a fucked situation. There's no control in that.
What happens when you're the one going to therapy and you're using your conflict resolution skills and tools and they're just not being respected? evaded and invaded,
Hey,
and
yo.
now you have, and now you're going
Real
back to
shit.
regression.
Hey,
Because
yo.
how else do you
That
protect
does,
yourself?
that
Hey, yo.
is that is a
protect yourself?
possibility.
He just said some real shit. You feel me? When you're working on yourself, right? When you're working on yourself and you're bringing those tools and the shit that you learned, right? Your conflict resolution, you feel me? Oh, all right, maybe I need to be more, you feel me? All right, maybe I need to, you feel me? Listen,
Yeah.
all right, and then put myself in your shoes and then give you my perspective. Maybe I might got to deal with you like that. What if you doing that and the shit and the motherfucker, like I told you, like, look, your partner could be tyrannical as hell inside the crib. You dig what I'm saying?
No,
you
right,
be a
I
fucking
get it.
tyrant.
Yeah.
So holier than this motherfucker.
Yeah, real shit.
And that's
so
when
my
you're
thing is
too
like
close.
I'm bringing that to the situation, right? My growth, I'm
Right.
bringing to this situation, right? But
Totally not
you want to
respected.
believe what the fuck you want to believe.
Because
you
they're
wanna
so
come how
close
you
to
want to
you.
come,
gotta-
and you don't give a fuck how I feel about it for real.
No, it's true. That's
know what I'm
because
saying?
sometimes you're so close to someone and it's difficult to process that someone could actually change. That's where I think the root of a lot of problems come from for relationships, where it's like people have been together for so long that they don't think that this person that they've been with for so long can actually change. So when this person is changing and this person is still the same or regressing, it's difficult for the regressor to understand that progression is possible.
I got another example of that though. What about them tips when they be telling you, if you get emotionally distraught, count backwards from 10. Go
Who the
step
fuck
away from the
is-
situation, count backwards from 10.
Forget about that shit
And then
every
you
time.
got this wild ass honey badger in your face, doing everything but allowing you to remove yourself from the situation.
Bro.
Then at that point, you have to.
And then what do?
Yo.
Like at this point where you're emotionally distraught, emotionally out of order, you just need 30 seconds to get in balance, but you have your problem as an obstacle getting through the door. And if you can't, and how long is containment and proper etiquette required for me when I'm being denied the afforded ability to do so?
I mean, if
How
you're
I'm
dealing
being
with something
taught.
like that, then she got to. People have to work on
Yo,
themselves.
y'all know what's going on behind closed doors.
Hey yo, no. So what you just what you just said though is
What?
real shit. Like people got to work on themselves because if the work is being done on one side, you feel me? That's just like, all right, we all chill together and we all sniff coke. You feel me?
Oh my God! Not the coke.
Head butter gram. Head
The
butter
free
gram.
weight loss program.
Yeah, you feel me?
You
We
ever
all
been
on
to
the free
Aspen?
weight loss program type shit.
Ozempic, what's it called? Ozempic?
Yeah.
Ozempic.
Hey yo, so look, right? So how the fuck is we ever gonna get out this situation? Check me out. If you feel me, I get off the program, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get on my shit, you feel
Right.
me? But I'm still fucking with you, who you don't even give a fuck about.
Right.
You don't even
putting
have
no
no
water on my
awareness.
plant.
That
You don't
is
even
so
have no awareness
difficult.
of getting out the fucking program.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's difficult to work around
Like, you
somebody
still
like that.
sniffing coke, and I'm trying to get my shit
I already
together.
lost the weight, bitch. Damn.
Yeah, like the purpose is, you feel me, fulfilled. But no, you dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna use
No,
like
I get it. I get it.
cigarettes. You feel me? Just so everybody could be with me and not look at niggas as coke heads.
Norps.
You feel me?
Norps.
We smoke cigarettes together. I'm chilling with you. You feel me? We be getting stressed out and we smoke cigarettes together. That's what we do.
And now they blowing and smoking your face.
Yeah, bro. So when I learn better ways, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna chew some gum. I'm gonna go work out. I'm
Right.
like, you feel me? I'm gonna do these things. But I still have to come back home and fuck with you.
Yeah.
Cigarette
It's
smoker.
different. It's difficult. Like that's
then
why I
guess-
keep saying the third. That's why I keep saying the third party stuff. Because the third party, it gives
yeah, we
a
gonna
different.
regress.
It has
Yeah, I know
to.
the third
It
party.
has
Get
to.
God of your life, fuck nigga.
Yeah.
That's what he
But
said.
you know what? The third
Yeah.
party has to be a specific type of person too. It can't be. It's someone who has to be somebody that's relatable to both of y'all, right? In general, like when you go to therapy, this is in general. This is a generalization.
Like you
You
and
have
Rob?
to, huh? No. What you should do is go to somebody that is like within your culture or within your urban community or like something like that that can help you.
Wasn't you doing life coaching?
No.
Oh my God. I'm about to go get my life coach certification.
We are not accepting clients at the moment.
All right, say no
Nuh-uh.
word.
This shit got deep, bro. success.
It is too anyway, but what I'm saying is you have to have someone that can relate to your struggles, and like you can't just go out there, no disrespect to any white therapist.
Yeah.
We can't be minorities and go to a white therapist
real
that's
shit.
never lived
How
in the
the fuck-
hood or never dealt with
Bro,
anything
you
that we dealt
talking to
with.
me from the horse. Not
Like,
happening.
no, you
talking
can't
to
talk
me
to
from
me
the
with a
horse, bro.
silver
Not
spoon in
happening.
your mouth trying to give me advice.
Nah, for real.
While
Fuck wrong with you?
some of the textbook knowledge might be, great and advantageous to us, it doesn't necessarily help us.
Damn, I think I need like, because for real, man. Not me. But I'm saying,
I know what
I'm
you
in therapy
I was
right
just talking
now. I'm
about
trying to tell you. Like, I
I
go
was
to
just talking
therapy
myself.
every Friday on
Right.
Teletalk
Yeah.
because there's a waiting list for in person. That's cool. But like, that's cool. No, it is. It's a waiting list. How many people try to get therapy? Like, but I go on Teletalk once a week. I have a cool ass therapist. He's cool. Like, he usually let me talk, and then he's real big on perception. Just gives me a different way to look at shit.
Okay.
He's helped me out a lot, but he tells me I help him out a lot too.
Is he
So,
white, black, Spanish?
He's a black man,
Okay, see?
older black gentleman, cares about the younger black crowd.
Good.
He actually fought to deny the promotion to stay my therapist because he like told me that's what he told me. I don't know. He gassed me up, but
He probably was gaslighting.
He's been my therapist for 2.5 years. So,
Good.
I mean, I learned a lot of shit, but this is where I go back to saying like, I had a motherfucker ask me, I want them to go to therapy with me, and I was like, fuck no. Why are you invading my safe space? I go there and talk about you, motherfucker.
But you see, you should.
I go there to try to get help how to deal with your ass, and you want to go see the game plan? Fuck out of here.
No, you're supposed to do that.
No,
That's
absolutely
how it should-
not.
Why not?
Because you can't decide you want to heal. You stop piggybacking off my appointments. Same thing like when you are talking and you make your partner aware of something that made you uncomfortable, right? They use this time
And
to
they-
remind you
Yeah.
that they were getting uncomfortable. Oh,
Okay.
a time that you made them uncomfortable. But no, you don't get to piggyback on you don't get to disperse accountability on my behalf because I'm holding you accountable for something. We need to get to this healing process right here, get through this, get closure, and then you can use your timing on your time because you weren't worried about that until I made you aware of something. This is called redirecting your accountability. So now you're trying to even the score with me so that we're both accountable. So now we both have to just patch it up and walk off. But I never got healed.
I
Just
get what
one
you're
injury.
saying.
So there's a cut here, and then you just gave me 2 more cuts later before I go to bed. And none of these you want to talk to me and figure out how to heal. So I'm just running around this bitch bleeding. Until I get fed up with bleeding, I turn into a zombie and I bite your fucking face off.
But
You know what
why
I'm saying?
not
So
just
this
do it
shit is-
together? So like not
I don't-
necessarily
because
for
you have to heal on your own. You don't get to step into my space of healing because you see what it's doing for me. You need to get your own version.
So you,
I came
what if
here
this is the same therapist?
because I should have never had to gone here if you and I could figure it out together.
but
So
you don't think it would be good to go
if
to the
I had
same
to
person?
go here to get help on how to deal with you, then that means that you better go find somebody that wanted to help you, and then figure out and talk to somebody about why somebody's going to talk to somebody because they need help dealing with your ass.
But why wouldn't
real
you want
shit.
her to go to the not her you specific,
Because
but
I
why
don't want
not?
you here
That's
because
love right there. You heard me, bro?
What?
That's love right there.
What?
Real shit. Like, going to therapy
To learn how
to learn how to even deal with somebody yourself on how you react. That's the accountability.
Yeah.
But you feel me in this situation. You feel me because
That's actually great.
because look, I'm of the belief, real shit. Like I'm of the belief, like if we together and I can't be that person, you feel me? Like if I don't even have the space, like if we not melded enough together to where I could come sit with you and listen to you and give you constructive, be your therapist. You feel me? If
Right.
I can't be that for you, you feel me?
Yeah.
And for real, bro, like I personally think that shit is kaputs. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
that shit is over if I can't be that for you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you have to be able to be that for your partner.
And it take real love, like, cause what bro said, that's a real sentiment of love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether, you know what I mean, no matter how you gonna feel about,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, it being a fact. You know what I'm saying? But
No, that's very
if, bro,
admirable.
if I'ma
To go to therapy, to have to learn, to
What?
deal with somebody, that's very admirable. That means you obviously
that
love this
mean
person.
I love you. You feel me?
Yeah,
I mean, I love you for real.
that really is a new level of love. So you ask what love is, that's love.
that's why I said it's motivation.
But motivation
When that shit
turns
starts,
to
when
resentment.
that shit start going to the other side of the line, that shit starts turning to frustration and aggravation.
Okay, so then my next question would be, what's a bigger deal breaker? Emotional availability, my apologies, or lack of ambition?
Define lack of ambition for me, please.
Lack of ambition is just not having the drive to do anything, just
Yeah, you
very
gotta go.
stagnant.
There we go. You gotta get the fuck up out of my face.
So that's worse than
I
emotional
can't be your thing to
unavailability.
do. That's what happens when you have somebody lack of ambition. They become complacent because you satisfied them to the point they no longer want to do anything. I'm so happy with you in my life. I no need to grow anymore.
So that's worse than emotional unavailability.
Fuck yeah, because now you've attached yourself to my world so much I can't even move in my world. You're smothering the motherfucker. Because you make me your thing to do on a daily basis, and now I have to make everything that I do as far fucking away from you as possible.
Yikes. How about you? What would be worse for you?
I'm kind of on board, bro. It's the lack of ambition, but I've dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, when you're busy or you're ambitious, dealing with somebody who isn't, you know what I mean? Like they typically don't understand. They don't understand the shit that you go through or the shit that it's gonna take for you to do what you gotta do. And typically, it's time away. You feel me? Like it's time dedicated to this. You feel me? So having a partner that understands, y'all are funny as hell. But not real shit. But having a partner who understands what chasing a dream is, or what doing something. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have a 9 to 5, it's like you don't.
Everything is secure with a 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's secure. Like it's not like, yo, if you took a day off, like shit's still gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, but we talking about ambition, because you can have a 9 to 5 and still have ambition.
No, right.
But to know what it is to go after what you want, that's outside of this person that you're in a relationship with, is very fucking important if you're ambitious. Because if you're not, then you could just get somebody who not, and then y'all could just be complacent together.
And be two fucking losers together.
Nah, it's not even losing. Y'all can just be complacent and comfortable together.
No, right, I get
You
it.
feel
I
me?
get it.
Like, I'm trying to move up a class. We black. You feel me? Black and Spanish.
That's why
I'm trying to move up a fucking class.
I get what you're
You
saying.
feel me? Trying to move up.
But I will go with emotional.
Maybe our kids could, you feel
Yes,
me?
they
Maybe
could
our
be-
kids could relax
Why it gotta
and
be
be fucking
us
complacent.
to be a fucking
feel
break the
me?
generational curses? Like, this
Man,
is
look,
tiring.
it is
My
fine.
fucking back hurt with all this
I'm really
greatness,
fucking,
bitch.
yo.
I'm joking.
I'm really fucking trying. You hear me? Like, I am
That's
really
when a
fucking
motherfucker
trying.
down and out, they be like, I am tired.
I'm
here.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I am tired. Like, you feel me? I am, bro. But this shit, it's a journey. Like,
It is a journey.
Like, listen, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna get down on yourself.
You gonna be fed
like,
up.
all of this shit, yo, bro, and real shit. Like,
You have
it's
any
just
idea who
like,
my
but yo,
uncle
that's
is?
the battle. That's the battle too.
Tell
You
him,
feel me?
Quay.
With being in a relationship with somebody who's not ambitious, that's a battle too. Because they don't know the battles that you going through to even do what you trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like,
Right.
all right, then there's this. You feel me?
Now there's a clusterfuck of
Yeah,
confusion and anger.
but it's like, then there's this overstanding goal that's just like, yo, this is for us.
Right.
And if I succeed here, you feel me? If I have fuel here to go, to put here, to go there, we can chill. You feel me? Like,
It's
but-
difficult to understand that when you're in it. That's
No.
why I think, for me, this is my opinion, I think emotional unavailability would be a deal breaker. And I say that because I wasn't always emotionally mature and I wasn't always emotionally available. So for me to be with someone who had the same components as me, it wouldn't have worked out. So I need somebody that's emotionally available because
y'all had a
because I need that understanding, because there's certain things that I couldn't see past or like I couldn't understand. So that emotion aspect to it,
perfect match.
yeah,
Like
that helps someone understand, like, with that emotional availability being there, then you know that you can help this person with the lack of their motivation.
All right, so when you're saying lack of emotional availability, you're saying emotions for you.
No, emotions like
like emotions that I have or to
like to
share with-
redirect or like to guide or to give the tools to help or like because all of that.
Because business is not personal, right?
No.
So since business isn't personal, there's a lack of emotional availability because it's business, it's not
Right.
personal, right? But I mean, but it's emotions in it too. But you know what I'm saying? But my thing is like,
It's
all
not
right,
compassionate.
This is
it's
fruitful.
not. Yeah, business is just straightforward. Where it's like no compassion. It's just like that, black and white. It is what it is. You gonna get it done.
Sometimes-
Here it is.
Sometimes
Unless
my
this is
business
your
full
person.
of love.
That's because you know these people and you build a rapport. But typically, you don't have to build a rapport with
Clients.
anybody.
Yeah, you
to
have
do
clients.
business with them. You just work with them, get your money, and go about your business. But when you are,
And I've been very emotionally unavailable for my clients.
you see, you have to have like
It's
that
sound flow.
Like you have to.
Elevation.
Right, you have to
get
have some
elevation
grit.
through the flow of sound.
What the fuck? Hey, whatever that means. Shout out to that. But when you don't have that
trying to
emotional
inspire.
availability, it doesn't. It is nothing. It's like emptiness. You don't have anything. So then that comes that fucking lack of ambition. So I think all of that is intertwined when you don't have that.
I feel like people use emotional unavailable shit. I think they use that shit when they just not vibing with a motherfucker, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm sure like you're saying I'm emotionally unavailable because what I love somebody else. You feel me? Is that it? Like, cause I don't understand what that means.
So like there is.
like, cause if I deal with you, I'm a person. You're a person.
I think her
we're
emotional
gonna have emotions.
availability means
But
they
you
don't
don't-
put up with her shit. That's basically what
No,
I'm getting
no,
at.
no,
What is-
no,
what is
no.
emotionally
Because what does
unavailable?
that
Like,
mean?
what
What
is
the
it?
fuck is that?
Emotionally unavailable could be. How do I?
How can you get in a relationship without emotions available?
Emotionally unavailable. Let's see what that is.
How can you get into a relationship without? You said it. What does it mean? Hold on. What do we?
Is dysregulation and emotional numbness?
Nonchalantness. So you don't like nonchalant niggas. That's cool. But some people do. Some people
So
don't.
it refers to persistent difficulty in forming and maintaining close emotional bonds with other. An emotional unavailable person may struggle to express their own feelings, understand or respond to the emotions of others, or create emotional intimacy in relationships.
So you don't like niggas that don't let you in their business. That's basically what I heard.
Nah, I don't really care about your business. It's more of like
How you feeling?
regulating your emotions is very important, because if I'm already off the hinge and like I'm already sporadic, then I can't have someone that doesn't know how to lead or reel back the personality that I have. That's why Rob is perfect, because he has the capability to do that. So that's why I said emotionally unavailable is a deal breaker, because if you can't control your emotions, I won't be able to control my emotions. It's not more so being in your business. It's you are
That's
just
emotional
free.
discipline, though. That's not availability for real. That's more emotional discipline. Like, I gotta know who my partner is and be like, and be able to identify. Just because you're screaming at the top of your lungs, you smacking shit off the counter. This ain't got nothing to do with me, and I gotta let you just get that out the chest and just ease you back the way that I ease you back into balance. But that's not availability. That's more like discipline and awareness and intelligence.
Yeah, but you still have to be emotionally available to have emotional discipline.
Well, it's all about like what you teach a motherfucker too, though. Like a person that loves you gonna pay attention to your traits.
Right.
But you had my question to you is, how do you even end up in a relationship without emotional? What you're speaking of, that doesn't consist. You won't even get past step one without that shit. That's what would separate you from the pool of motherfuckers before the relationship is even considered.
Sometimes
you know what I'm
there
saying?
isn't an emotional connection. Sometimes it's
It
more of
dies.
an intellectual,
It definitely dies.
Emotional connection, a physical connection. Because the first connection that you have with somebody typically is the physical. In a perfect world, when you first see somebody, you're like, damn, that person's mentality
Okay.
is so fucking wonderful. Like, you're not thinking that because you don't know anything about
Only
them.
if you have a personal relationship. That's only if it started off from like relationships that you already have availability that don't start off with just a physical attraction. So like when you're in the workplace, or if you're somewhere, anywhere you frequent where there's somebody frequent there.
But it was
So
still
you have
based off of
familiarity
looks.
with this individual, but I've never approached this individual on a lustful manner whatsoever. But due to the frequenting around this motherfucker, you start to grow and like the person outside of the physical. Like I never physically was attracted to you from the gate. Like you weren't the face that jumped out of a room of faceless faces.
Yeah, fuck no.
But then as we
if your
sat
face
here,
ain't fucking
real
jumping
shit.
out in a room of faceless faces,
Nah, you know
call
what I'm
me
saying?
shallow, call me whatever. No.
What I'm saying is, but then you know how you
That is some
frequent.
bullshit,
How
Vinny.
you,
No,
what?
how?
Cause what
Yeah, you
what
wildin'.
mean?
You're
You-
wildin'.
first
It's all
of all,
types
it
of
might be
things.
different
You
for
might
men.
not be the most like I'm not you.
No,
I'm saying
I'm
like
fine.
the person I'm talking about, like you might not be the most prettiest motherfucker in the world. Like your face, like you said, face might not be facing in a room full of faces, but your soul radiating beyond that.
I wasn't even coming on. I wasn't even judging nobody. That was just my description of basically
No.
the physical attraction. The physical attraction comes from the face that distracts you from a face full of faces. Or a room full of faces, the one that you like is the one that you're physically attracted to. There's still a
Yes.
bunch of people back there you're like, I don't give a fuck about them.
Exactly.
That bitch is bad. Like that's what you
Yes.
want. Like real shit. So that's your
Yes.
physical attraction. But behind them, there's a room full of faceless faces.
And keep them
This
faceless
the one that
faces
jumped out
there.
at me. It may be some other pretty faces I might call pretty, but
Exactly,
this
but
the one
that's
I like
the one
the
that
most.
yeah, that's the pretty face that you
So what
want.
I'm saying, but what I'm saying to you is, if you frequent the same, let's just say you go to school, how many crushes developed because you have class with somebody? You ain't walking into first day and be like, "Damn, that motherfucker fine." Fuck no. But now all of a sudden, second trimester, you sitting there like, yeah,
Trimester?
I want to, whatever the fuck it is. I want to fuck Susie this year, straight up. You know what I'm saying? That's how
Maybe
that
that's
goes.
how it is for men.
Yeah, I'm saying, get like women too. That's how
You
the
gotta
nerd.
have a
That's how the
distinct
fat nigga gets
ugliness.
the bad bitch.
You gotta have a
Cause he was cool as hell while all the niggas that look like me was dog walking in the bitch. Now all of a sudden the fat nigga that always bought her food, that listened to her problems. You know what, Henry? We should try this. We should try it. Henry ain't never gonna fuck it up. Henry ain't never gonna fuck it up, you heard? He ain't never gonna
Henry
fuck it
better
up.
get his titties the
That's how
fuck
Henry
on out of
won.
here.
That's how he gonna be skinny Henry in about 5 years.
That's
she
because
loves
she
him
gonna
now.
stretch them
'Cause she
out.
loves him now. She's gonna care for him. She's gonna care for him. But that's how Henry did his thing. That's his story. You know what I'm saying?
So my next question is, fuck Henry. What is the biggest deal breaker in a relationship besides cheating? Because I know y'all men don't really
We gotta
care
go
about
first. I
cheating.
want to hear this.
Damn, just threw you out there.
Straight up.
Hold up, ask me a question one more time.
What is the biggest deal breaker in a relationship besides cheating?
Hey yo, nah, real shit. I think it's the we've all heard this shit before, so it's just the lack of accountability and not being in touch with reality.
Okay.
You feel me? Not being in touch with reality and not having accountability, because with those two things, we could overcome whatever. You feel me? We could overcome whatever if you have
Accountability.
accountability and in touch and you being in touch with reality.
Okay.
We could pretty much get past whatever the fuck we need to. But if you don't have them two things, then Jesus.
Then Jesus, Jesucristo.
Yeah, I'm talking about Wednesdays
Suffering.
and Mondays, Bible study and the Word. Listen, you know what I'm saying, man?
What do you think is worse?
Like me personally, first thing is trying to act like you forgot who my uncle was. That's
Who the hell
gonna
is your
be
uncle?
crazy. Iceberg Slim. Now listen, right?
Who's that?
I was raised by a different type of men. Listen, right? Cause nah, for real, bro, you laughing because disrespecting my pimping is crazy. Cause I put my flaws out first. I don't hide who I am. No female I deal.
You
What
shouldn't.
you see is what you get. No, but these bitches be hiding. You find out she's broken later. Like you find out you got to fucking you got to do repair later when they come in the form like they're here. You're not here.
Anybody at our age, well,
No,
they are
no,
probably here now,
I did
but
my own healing.
no, but
I
listen,
was
what I was
healed
going to say is
up
most
to the point I
people,
wasn't.
most women by the age of 20, 21, they have some type of
No,
damage
listen,
or whatever.
I just turned 35 yesterday.
Damn.
Right.
Happy birthday.
All right, my feeling.
I'm joking.
I never even planned for this shit. But I said to say, like, at this age, I don't got time for first experience. You should be through your crisis. You should have your experience. You should be seasoned at this. I'm not even dealing with nobody that don't have kids or nothing because my life consists of nurturing children. So it's like, compatible wise, you should come knowing at this point. Why the fuck am I teaching you? Or now we at the point at 30, because I don't date 21-year-olds. I don't deal with nobody. I won't even talk to nobody that's under probably 25. And that's pushing it for me. If I find out you're 25, it's after I already liked you and age became the conversation. But I said to say, like, the way that I am now, I don't got time to teach somebody how to deal with having an adult relationship because I'm presenting one.
I mean, but
You know what I mean? So like,
what do you mean you don't have time to teach
what I mean
them?
is like,
That's 100.
at the time I'm healed. I come healed. I did my own healing. I didn't come broken.
So you want someone who's
So
healed.
no, I don't want. I don't
Yo,
require you to
how
be
long
healed.
do it take you to motherfucking heal?
No.
bro? Let's just be real.
I'm not saying that because that's very insensitive to say.
All right, yeah.
You know, nobody.
I know.
Some people don't heal. But what I will say is like
See, that's-
you don't
and
get
then
to
those
come.
the people who died.
I'm not.
Holy
I'm
shit.
not willing to bring people in my
Yeah.
life that's going to. If I close most of my wounds, why am I looking for new scars?
I get what you're saying.
I just don't want that.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
And
That's
I'm
a
not. I'm
preference.
not being insensitive to the point. Like I understand some wounds heal over time and require certain aspects. I may be able to help you heal, but I'm not going to allow you to inflict wounds on me because you have wounds. Because I do my best not to make my wounds injure others.
Now, by saying that, which is great that you're doing the self work and you've healed. Now, if someone is damaged or flawed, do you at least give them the tools to help themselves?
I try,
Don't you
but what
show
I'm
and
saying is,
prove?
eventually, what ends up happening is like, once you've healed yourself, especially if you did it by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
if you pull yourself, anybody that's ever pulled themselves from a dark place by themselves with no help,
Mm-hmm.
they develop a coldness for others. Their compassion level decreases
Yeah,
Okay.
because
agree.
when they required it, it wasn't given. So what they do with the level of understanding becomes, it doesn't become bitterness, it doesn't become resentment. It is, if I can do it, so can you.
Okay.
Yeah, the love gets tougher. You know what I'm saying? For sure, because
yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, you know what it took to do it. You
When
feel
you
me?
wiped your own tears for enough times, you're not so quick to wipe others.
You're not so. I mean,
Because
I've
like
never really
when
wanted
you're
to
the
wipe
only one that
nobody's
had to
tears.
find a tissue, but most of the time it's your sleeve, well then you're not gonna be quick to walk around and get some else because you know you can make it.
And
Yeah.
you know it's
and
possible.
you know
Right.
the value of getting through that.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the tissue.
Right.
So it's not resentment, it's not bitterness. It's more so learned behavior. Like I said, I had to go through my turmoil, my crisis on my own.
Reality though.
But it made me a better person.
It's reality though.
It doesn't make me non-compassionate. It just makes me not responsible.
Okay.
More in tune with reality.
Yeah, because I'm like,
You feel me? Like,
what do you? Because people will act like you owe them something, but can you show me a receipt? What do I owe
I don't
you?
think you owe anyone anything.
Well,
I
people
think
act like they
there's,
do.
I feel like there's still a level, and I'm gonna say this like with not even a grain of salt, but more so there's a level of responsibility that you take on when you're dealing with someone in a relationship. And I say that because when you're with this person is a representation of what you are, right? And you have to present this person when you go out into the world, and how you represent your relationship is how you're going to represent yourself. So while you may not heal this person because that is not your job, there's still a level of responsibility to guide or help this person to become a better person.
To what ends, though? Am I supposed to continuously try to make you a better person while I make myself a worse one?
No.
At
That's
what
not
point do I
we're
pick self
saying.
over you? Because when you get into that situation, you're already at a loss. You're already not being fed what you're feeding, by what you're feeding. So I'm already getting less percentage than the 50 that we already thought we were talking about, which most women don't agree on 50. So it's really 60-40 at its bare minimum when you're dealing with proper traditional dealing between men and women.
But you're never going to get someone who's
men
like
already come in
fully-
as a short. Women on a first date, you know how preposterous it is for you to tell her to pay for you. So I already come in at a loss. You already up from the moment that I even begin to court you. We're never even.
Even
You
if she
just-
offers the pay?
I mean, what else are you going to agree to continue this if I don't? This is what I'm saying. So you understand. You understand.
If you don't pay the
Do you
first
understand?
date
Right,
and you
that's what I'm
ask
saying.
me
Yeah,
and you let
that's
me
That's what I'm
pay,
saying. And so, like the way that this whole process starts off, I have to sacrifice just to get somewhere where I think I want to be. Then you get there, and you still have to then you have to double down on your sacrifice once you make the commitment. Because now it's just you, not them other 5 niggas she had on her phone doing cash apps and shit like that. They expect it to be gone. So because they're gone, that burden falls on you. But you're already down. And the performance doesn't get enhanced.
So the
on the
first
other
day,
half.
okay, wait. So let's say that this person is healed. Are you now down because you
It's
paid for
not
their
about
first day?
we're not talking about a healed person. What you brought
No,
up
right.
was
But now I'm saying
when you
if
get
this
across
person
somebody
is
that's not
healed.
healed, it's my responsibility to try to get
No, I
this
said
person
you
up
have
to speed.
some.
Some, but that's what I'm saying. To what end? Because after
Until
a while,
you could realize that
after
this
a while,
person
if
doesn't
you're-
want to help
Remember what I
themselves.
said in the beginning of this?
What was it?
I don't want to deal with anybody that's going to reopen wounds that I've closed and give me additional.
Okay.
And on top of that, if you present yourself in a form and I vet you off of your behaviors and what you do then as a person that's not going to do such, and then you either one, dumb down performance and output, or two, change and enhance terms on said relationship with XL, children, or any other thing that comes into play with that. Well, without the discussion or the agreement on enhancement. Now, this is where you present said such things. Because now you have wounded me while you call yourself here on my behalf. You can't force me to be your doctor.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the tools you give them. But let's just say
I
that
don't
this
owe
person.
you anything. A relationship is supposed to be something that made both of us feel good. When the fuck did it turn to something I had to clock into?
Well, a relationship
Like,
is work.
why?
Let her respond.
I'm
A
listening.
relationship is work, though. We can't expect not to have to do anything. There's going to be times where you might affect the person that you're with without understanding what you caused or what you did. And it's not intentional. Some people, they just mistakes happen or arguments or disagreements occur. So every time there's a disagreement, do you feel like that's going to be infliction on you?
I'm not talking about that aspect. Those are regular procedures or daily aspects of a relationship. What we're talking about is me having to take the sacrifice of dealing with somebody broken and repairing them when I didn't agree to deal with anybody broken. Why do I discover you're broken later when there's a part of the function of the relationship that requires you to be fixed?
Emotionally
Because I can't
available.
hear. I was
Right,
already
because
fixed.
sometimes,
Well,
not even sometimes. There are when you've been in a relationship, right? And you're not the bad guy in that relationship. And I think I've explained this before on the pod. You weren't present, so I'll repeat it again. When you have been in a toxic relationship and you weren't the bad guy in that relationship, you don't know what your flaws are because those flaws were never expressed because the bad guy was the person that you were in a relationship with. When you get into a good relationship, that's when your toxic traits and your flaws come out because this good person is here now and they're not giving you any stress. So because you're used to the chaos, you now bring that chaos with you without realizing that you don't have to be chaotic in this relationship.
listen, the understanding is understood. But at what point does the understanding override personal gratification? Because a relationship consists of two people. What's the goal here remember what I told you? Love is motivation. So as it dwindles, as you take sacrifices due to love, and you take shorts, and you're not being compensated for what you're outputting, you start with the basic label for that is being drained. At what point does this relationship, when you think about self-efficiency, serve you? Because why am I continuously making the sacrifice on behalf of another human that's literally terrorizing my existence?
At that point,
On
you would
different
have
type
to
of levels.
realize when is enough.
So that's what I'm saying. But then then it gets back to what we were saying, where sometimes removal is not possible due to the consequence extending further than the two people immediately involved. And this is where now you have sad men, miserable men
This is
walking around Earth, acting like they're okay, doing what they're supposed to do, and a bunch of group of motherfuckers that are just okay with saying, yeah, he's a good man. I went to the barbershop 2 weeks ago. An old guy overheard me in a conversation I was having with somebody else, and he said, let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a free jewel. He said, you know why nice guys always finish last? Tell me. He said, because they're always the idiot that holds it. And that exploded in my motherfucking capillaries in my motherfucking brain so hard.
I would have to sit down and think about that.
I mean,
because
I wouldn't expect you to understand that because you use a different side of the brain than me. But
Yeah, because
It made so much sense because it wouldn't serve you to understand.
that probably
It wouldn't
doesn't.
serve anybody of your gender. But truly speaking, women they develop a sense of intelligence as they come up, and they forget that there's maintenance required. And
I don't
also-
think it's
and they-
entitlement.
I think that good men, when they do their job well, we create such a universe for women that they forget the universe they require, and they make us feel like it's mandatory to use to provide it, not understanding the energy that's required and what is drained. But you're lacking on feeding into this. Your world starts to get distorted, and then they blame us. They blame we change, then we
I
change.
don't know if it's a sense of entitlement or not knowing when to, not really understanding what they have because they never had it. I'll just say
That's
that.
the worst. That's even worse. When you're the first good man in a woman's life, that is the worst thing to be. Trust me when I tell you.
Yep. My husband
Because
says
you will
it too.
be
So I,
overused, misused, and abused, neglected, and it's all done by people who are so ignorant that they're actually doing this to you.
some
because
people don't know their
They're
ignorance
so
though. Y'all
elated.
don't get that.
That's
that's
the
what
definition of
ignorance
ignorance is.
Right.
It's the lack of acknowledgement of your lack of knowledge. So it's like, but the victim, that's what standpoint we're speaking from, and that could be male or female because it's both.
Yeah.
But I say that to say from the victim standpoint, that's what we're speaking for. At what point do you constitute that, like, this is the right thing to do? Because the relationship is supposed to serve both of the parties involved. Nobody hired a healer, a personal healer.
No.
I wasn't supposed to be any pain involved.
You're supposed to do what you feel is best for yourself, right?
First of all, it's real pimps in this building right now.
And you have to do what you do. And when it's time to go, it's just time to go. Greetings. But listen, y'all know what time it is on this show. It is motherfucking story time. Hey, ladies and germs. Boyfriend has a beer belly and he never wears bottoms to bed. Just his extra large t-shirt and socks. He keeps his ding-a-ling free to roam so he can spoon me or something more as we sleep.
You know what's going on?
He looks like Winnie the Pooh. He's too damn fat and it's not good for his health. I told him
Bitch, you
that
in
we
bed,
should
man.
work out together. He told me I should work my mouth more and stop fat shaming or he'll send me back to the project with the skinny crackheads and fat roaches. Each time I try to help him, he insults me for being poor. When we're not discussing his health, he's a great boyfriend, but he's going to die if he doesn't lose weight. What to do?
Well, first of all, you fucking with a fat nigga with money is your first problem. That's what it seems like. If he too comfortable call you broke, I know who the breadwinner is, and you ain't got you an overweight lover heavy D. That's crazy.
First of all,
That's
get
crazy.
your fat, funky, big back, Winnie the Pooh, piglet smelling ass in the motherfucking gym. You are going to die of diabetes, high cholesterol. Your LDL levels are through the roof. Go to the gym.
Can I speak?
Hey yo, bitch, it's your fault, bitch.
Can I speak? Can I
You
speak?
feel me? It's your fault, bitch.
How are you
Because
mad
what the
because he
fuck
call
is
you broke?
Huh?
He called her broke on a regular basis. She let it be known. And first of all, the first word she used wrong was boyfriend. Because she knows
That's
what's
what I'm
going
saying.
on.
Like, bitch,
You know
fault.
why you in there with that nigga walking around with his dick out?
Brokey, you paying for these bills. Get your fat ass in the gym and I'll make you a salad
I
with
wish
grilled
a bitch
chicken.
would. Look. Look.
Listen, if you haven't already, make sure you follow us at the Crossing Minds Podcast, or at the Crossing Minds Pod, all one word, on Instagram. We are also on TikTok, TCMP. We are on Apple, Spotify,
Hey.
iHeart,
Where
YouTube.
else?
Make sure you tap in with us every motherfucking week. What am I missing? Oh,
Let's
shout
get
out
busy.
to Soundflow Elevation. If you're
Yeah.
trying to get your voice or you're trying to pod, make sure you tap in with that guy, him.
Hey, yo, if you want to be beautiful like these two people on the other side of my camera, you
Calm
feel
down.
me?
Calm down.
You
I'm
feel me? If you wanna be
universally
beautiful
handsome,
like
globally
them.
sexy.
You know what I'm saying? Type in SoundFlow, you feel me? Hey, yo, if you need some relationship coaching,
The life coaches.
First of all, you gonna have to show me a picture over who you stressing over,
yeah,
baby girl.
we gonna have
We
to know
see.
if you retarded first.
And
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Because if you retarded, you really can't be helped.
You will be searched
You feel
before
me?
every session. All that
Let
wild
me
out, ever kill
see.
myself shit, this is over
Let
with.
me see who's stressing you out. If he built like Winnie the Pooh, boo, you are the problem.
First of all, going to
Yeah.
bed fat, free balling is wild with socks.
That
Because what you
is-
was doing, though, beaters.
his pussy got on a moo as
Word
a
up.
fucking white tee.
They say you got champion beater on.
Oh my God.
Wilson socks.
And I know his butt small. He got the Hank Hill ass. I know his ass small. All right.
I know that water big.
Tell a friend
Or
to
she
tell
keep
you.
coming home. Why'd you keep going there? I'm
Tell
trying
a friend to
figure that
tell a
out.
friend. Tell your mom to tell
I know he
church
snore.
friends
I know he snore.
that everybody need a little dick too. Bye.
I ain't into that. She wow.